So let's talk about the next time, because I think this is actually another matchup where me and Mate are both in the same boat, where Sean, you're more familiar with the, what's his name, Gojo?
Yes, everybody. Next time on Death Battle, Luisa said it's not a Halloween episode, so don't go conspirarizing. But next time we have...
Okay.
He said it on his Twitter. That's why I said that. He said it on his
Fair
Twitter.
enough, but after diving into Chainsaw Man, okay, yeah, let's actually say it. It's Gojo versus Makima. Am I saying that right?
You did it! You said a Japanese name right! Let's go!
Yes!
I was about to do that.
Hallelujah! Yay! I said Makima's name right. Fuck! But yes, it is Gojo versus Makima. Now, I'm not even going to pretend, oh, I somewhat know these. No, I fucking don't. I've heard of Chainsaw Man. I've seen the art of Chainsaw Man, and obviously I watched episode 1 for this episode, but obviously I didn't have enough time, because let's just say I'm preparing for work tomorrow because they need me to open up shop. But, mate, have you seen what Chainsaw Man looks like, out of curiosity?
Yes.
Okay, then. Well, I don't need to show the picture then. And
I mean, if anything, I've seen screenshots, the brief clip online, and the amount of really good cosplays I've seen at Comic-Con.
yeah, and I won't lie, after watching the first episode, I'm kind of hooked on this, and of course I did read some manga, so I kind of already know how arcs end. But I heard the manga is still going on when I was researching this last night, so it's like, okay, so it's not over yet, because
Yes.
in my reaction, I was thinking these series are probably finished, but it turns out they're not.
Yes,
But in terms of the anime,
both of these series are both continuing on. Both came out in 2018 for manga releases.
but what I've heard of these two characters, without spoiling, in fact, I don't want to spoil any of the major things about this character, because I was actually quite surprised on this character. Okay, so to give an idea, Sean researched Gojo, I researched Makima.
Yes.
And I did. Fuck all.
Yeah, so mate, why don't you tell us a little bit about these two? Good talk.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this is actually a complaint I did see in the comments of Megatron versus Frieza, but he got ratioed hard. Or she, I don't want to misgender.
They.
You know, men or women can both be idiots. But it does bring a theme that I am noticing with this season. But people were complaining that we're getting too many niche characters. Personally, I don't see a problem, because honestly, we've had a good amount of... I feel as though we've had a good amount of, like, well-known characters.
Like, we just had Frieza and Megatron.
Yeah. But not only that, Chainsaw Man is not a niche series.
Neither is
Like, when that
Jujutsu
anime
Kaisen.
came out... Yeah, I wasn't aware of this, but yeah, there you go. It's like, when the Chainsaw Man anime came out, it was watched a lot on Crunchyroll. Like, I think at the time this came out, I think this, like, overshadowed, like... I'm not sure if this is true. Apparently it overshadowed, like, Pokemon's final season. Well, the one with Ash, anyway.
I do know it overshadowed Demon Slayer's recent season, as well as One Piece for a time.
Really? Damn. Okay, yeah, this is not a niche series.
That was pre-Gear 5 review.
See, that's what I mean. So, Chainsaw Man's not niche. It's just that, obviously, in comparison to other anime characters, maybe, yeah, it's not as popular as Naruto, or... I was about to say One Piece, but... let's just say a quote I said in my reaction's gonna look outdated.
Yeah, no,
Chainsaw
Man got a lot of hype.
And I've seen some of the fights online, and... pretty fucking rad. That's all I'm saying. The other thing that this is from me, not a comment at all. I have noticed as well as depression. In fact, given these two characters, I think that theme's going to play into this. It's also a very big villain sort of season for Death Battle. Like, we haven't had as many heroes as we've had villains.
Well, at least that part's changing with these two.
What was that, Sean?
Well, that part is going to change with these two, at least.
Oh, it's not. Nah.
Clearly
this
you
ain't a
haven't
major
read
spoiler.
Gojo's stuff.
Makima is. I never thought I'd say this, but I think I found a character that's probably more of a piece of shit than Homelander.
Y'all should have seen earlier, before Bill got into it, he saw the designs of Makima and was thirsty over her.
Yep, and then I saw the things she does, and I'm just like, I do not want to be on a Tinder site if I see her face.
I have to ask, is Makima the one in that shot that China did not do a good job censoring? Let's just say that.
But I don't believe this is Makima. I think this is another demon. I'm pretty sure of it. I mean, so I should probably.
I don't
clear,
think
people.
it is, no, because of the suit jacket.
I've watched one episode of Chainsaw Man, and I've looked at respect threads, and I've read only like 20 of the manga that I know she's in. So obviously, if this is like some transformation of hers, I didn't know it, and obviously, I'm gonna wait till the death battle to fully give like my opinion on her character. I am hooked on Chainsaw Man after the few reads I've had.
Oh boy. Look, I'll be honest, both Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen are beautifully animated. Speaking of Jujutsu Kaisen, shall we start off with the blindfolded one?
Yes.
Let us talk about Satoru Gojo. Satoru Gojo was born to the Gojo clan, one of the top 3 families in the Jujutsu Kaisen world, and was considered a pride and joy because he inherited special ability called the Six Eyes, which hadn't happened in 400 years.
An anime character gaining powers? Never heard of.
Here's what's funny, he's not the main protagonist.
Yeah, from what I think you and Purple brought up, like he's kind of overshadowed the main character. Oh, there was another anime that got introduced this season of Death Battle that had a similar fan base, but can't remember who.
Well, this
Might have to hunt into that.
Well, despite all that, Gojo is considered the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer. And no, they don't necessarily fight with martial arts combat all the time. There's actual magic behind this series. His goal is to purge the world from cursed spirits. Spirits who infect others, essentially, with cursed powers. Using cursed energy. A lot of curses in this world.
Oh, what's its rating?
What do you mean?
You said there's a lot of cursing.
I would argue M, because Jesus Christ, this anime has a character that eats fucking fingers to get powers. No, that is real. Just like the fact that he is friends with a fucking panda. That's right, he befriended a panda, who is also a Jujutsu sorcerer. How does that make sense? Don't ask.
It's anime, I kind of expect something to be weird.
Gojo eventually saw that the Jujutsu society was flawed. And instead of doing what normal people would expect, oh, he's gonna purge the world with power. Nope, he became a teacher. He wanted his goal.
Okay, definitely drastically different than Makima.
He wanted his goal to empower others to help better the world, essentially. Hell, it is stated in the manga his birth changed the balance of the whole world. Early on, he had quite a few friends. Some of them are... which one do I want to bring up first? Because he's got a lot because of his goal. He had a rival named Suguro, and they both wanted to have power in separate different ways. Eventually, they didn't agree with each other, so they kind of split up, and eventually Suguro betrayed him. But not in a stabbing way. He just betrayed him with his own logic. And they would eventually fight one day in the future. But then, people want to know how absurd Gojo is. Let's talk about one of the first well-known fights he's done against Toji. Because Toji almost killed Gojo when Gojo let his guard down. Then Gojo got back up, fully healed, and just annihilated Toji. It was bad. Thanks
Get
to
some
his
Dimitri vibes from this character.
Well, it's because he awakened a new power in him. Yet, despite killing Toji, he made a promise to Toji to protect his son, Megami. And he took Megami on as a pupil, because Megami was ordered to be, I believe, was executed. Eventually, he did have his fated match with Sugoro. And ultimately, Gojo did beat Sugoro. But you know what that led to? Depression.
Again, that goes with the theme of the majority of characters this season.
He and Sugoro were the top two Jujutsu sorcerers, so there was no really need to get more powerful. So Gojo decided to, instead of becoming more powerful, to enlighten and help those achieve enlightenment through his teachings. Yeah, so despite depression, he was like, I made mistakes, but I want to teach others to be better, essentially. He's like Kakashi Sensei, I think, in a weird kind of context.
Oh yeah, okay, I will say, I'm already having a more positive opinion about this character over the next one, and I'm getting the feeling this might be an Homelander versus Homelander situation, where it's like, I'm really hoping this character has something that could beat my guy.
Any questions so far? Because I want to shout out Purple Demon for helping out with the research for Gojo on such short notice.
Yeah. We probably would have had him on, but we're doing a lads debate for the Halloween special for Billy Ween, and we just feel as though we have a lot of things going on this week that we won't have time to get his input on certain things with this Death Battle or the next time.
Yes, and trust me, there's a lot of stuff Gojo has. It's his abilities and powers that make him absurdly OP. But I think it's fair to go over the story of Miss Makima first.
Well, funny enough, man, these two have somewhat something in common. So, Makima at the start of Chainsaw Man runs into the main character, Denji. Also, Sean, can you confirm I'm saying that name right?
Yeah, it's Denji.
2 in a row! But, so, Denji had a bit of a shit life, to say the least. You know, abuse, being hunted, and being unable to control his chainsaw form. But he conveniently ran into a lady called Makima, who, upon appearance, seems like a very nice lady, and it later reveals she's part of a devil hunter group, which is literally called, I think, the Public Safety Devil Hunters. That's a mouthful.
The PSDH?
But, so you would, and of course in this world of Chainsaw Man, there is humans and demons. And now Makima is part of this group because she wants to better humanity. She wants to be able to create a world where there's no demons, humanity can live their life, and she's grown a fondness to Denji. Denji has this really cool power, and it's even stated that she is like Chainsaw Man's #1 fan. And at first I was thinking, okay, I'm getting a Discord vibe from this lady. But then it later reveals she's actually a demon. Bum bum bum. This was revealed very early on. And let me just quickly get up a video, because mate, I just want to hear your reaction.
Well, that happened.
Yeah. And if you think these 3 guys run away, it's like, oh, they're really far away from her. Nope.
Fuck.
Yeah, okay, so you're probably thinking, oh, it's a good thing she's on the good side. She is fucking not. Because, big shock, how she wants to make humanity perfect is by either taking Chainsaw Man's power, or just eradicating just all the demons, some which aren't technically evil. And you guys are familiar with a certain character from a death battle, Elven Lead, Lucy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how she kills people is not humane. Like, Jesus Christ, she is bloodthirsty, and she takes enjoyment in torturing. Like, she could have easily just killed these men with her mind, decided to slowly kill them. Like, it's so fucked. So I was thinking, okay, she's trying to get information, obviously, but the way she does it is so horrible. And no, she's not a lawful evil. No, how she views humanity. I looked on one of her quotes on the respect thread. She really views humanity as a pet dog. So it's like, you know, and look, we all have pets and stuff like that. Now, even though she says, she loves humanity like a pet dog, she doesn't show that. She will brutalize these dogs.
This lady is fucked up.
She is really fucked up. She can brainwash people. I haven't found it, but on the respect thread, well, not respect thread, on her wiki it says like one of her crimes is slavery. Obviously, I've only read like only a portion of like the things she does. I mostly wanted to get like a power output of these characters. So, if she does own slaves, then fuck's sake. And yeah. And yeah, now if you're probably thinking, man, Makima's a horrible lady. This lady isn't technically Makima, or she is Makima, but also not Makima. If you're thinking I'm going to elaborate on that anymore, no, because they're probably going to explain the death battle. And I will say, she hasn't had a long story arc, and well, in terms of the manga, I think she's been in like 130 comic manga editions. I could be wrong on that, but she was only there for like one story arc. And the anime is still going on, so they haven't gotten to her last edition, but they seem to be doing something with her character, so she might go through a redemption arc. But it's technically, again, it's not Makima, but it is Makima. Trust me, if you thought Misaka's episode was confusing. And yeah, to say like what her powers are, so similar to Gojo, so she wants to make the world better, but rather than, you know, teaching things, well, she's technically somewhat of a teacher. In fact, if you just look at her design, then yeah, you would kind of see that, yeah, she does have that sort of teacher persona. But she's very cold and calculated and just downright horrible. Like, even though she values humanity, she will kill some of them in a heartbeat if they got away. In fact, she got shot in the face in a train. So she just punctured a hole through those men and then just walked out the train and just asking the two people, can you please clean up the bodies? It's like, yeah, because, you know, I love dogs, but, you know, I decided to kill this dog. It's like, she's very contradicting. It's very clear she's evil. So, I'll be honest, especially in some... I don't even want to spoil it, because I generally do want to see you guys' reactions and when they're going over her story, which I hope they bring up what she did to Genji, because it is fucked.
Wait, Genji?
I assume he needs healing after that.
But speaking of healing, though, shall we actually go into these characters and their powers?
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay, so I imagine Sean's gonna explain Gojo's big thing, and I have a GIF ready.
Define big things. He's got quite a few, remember? Well, Gojo's abilities are all centered around cursed energy. Cursed energy is invisible to those without cursed energy, essentially meaning a lot of his attacks are considered invisible unless someone has something similar So basically, unless you have cursed energy, you're not going to see his attacks.
It's kind of like the Bleach thing, like, with their whole, like, spirit forms. Like, won't be able to see them unless you're also on par.
Kind of. But he has his own version of curse techniques. For example, his curse slap, blue. Yes, that's what it's called. It is a blue orb that Gojo can manipulate to the size, and he can manipulate the size of. Purple wasn't very grammar heavy with these notes, but I still thank him for it because they are informal. The blue orb can suck anything inward through using negative numbers it's been used to suck in buildings, curse spirits, and of course people. It's like a mini black hole vortex.
Impressive.
His next ability, we have Curse Technique Reversal Red. Hey, shocker, it's red versus blue, because this one's the opposite of blue. Red may also be an orb, but it's a more direct weapon effect. And while it took him forever to figure it out, he got it to work. He's able to push anything away, and it's been able to launch people through buildings, and can just cause a lot of damage with surroundings. Pain meet the new version of Almighty Push.
I mean, I guess the name says it all, really.
But pop quiz, what happens when you combine the colors red and blue? Anyone want to guess?
Get purple.
Exactly. Hollow Technique Purple.
Oh my god, I was giving a rhetorical answer like, oh, you get purple? Okay, then fair enough.
Thanks for helping me with that, mate. Bill and mate. This is a combination of
I didn't do anything.
Of both blue and red. Purple is basically an antimatter black hole. Gojo can launch anywhere he wants and will cause a lot of damage, and nothing can stop it because it ignores durability, and it's just generally a giant purple ball of death.
Sure this isn't Frieza?
Yes, it's not Frieza, because he has to actually combine his abilities. And remember the thing I brought up that Gojo got when he was born? The 6 eyes. No, you see those giant blue shiny eyes of his under his bandana, headband, whatever you want to call it?
Yes.
His 6 eyes are only exclusive to the Gojo clan. It grants him perfect sight and awareness of his surroundings, allowing him to control the flow of cursed energy and see others' cursed energy, which is mandatory for him to use his limitless technique, which he's got a couple of limitless techniques.
Limitless, eh?
Limitless is a unique Gojo clan ability. It's like the 6 eyes. However, let's see here. Yes.
I thought you were saying like he has like literally limitless magic. I was like, oh, interesting.
It's just the name.
Nah. False advertising. I want to speak to your manager about this.
So with limitless, it allows him to harness infinity, which allows him to slow down anyone who approaches him till they stop. This essentially means Gojo can never be hit unless you attack everywhere at once. And while he normally needs to consciously activate it, eventually he'll learn just to have it active all the time. And he can keep it up as long as he wants, unless he allows something, a physical shape to pass through it.
I feel like this is the moment
Is your mind scrambled? Because I don't blame you. Because up next we have Unlimited Void.
That is trippy as balls.
Unlimited Void is a giant area a curse user can trap you in, where they control what happens, and in one way, shape, or form guarantees every hit will land and can be blocked but never dodged. Gojo has done this multiple times. Unlike most others, it floods the target's brain with knowledge of the universe, which is too much to comprehend, and the target can freeze up while Gojo is free to attack you directly. This was proven in his fight with Jogo. Jogo was so stunned, so Gojo just casually ripped his head off.
Yikes.
Oh yeah. I believe it is stated. I actually have a quote from the manga right here about it.
Yeah, I was told about this earlier today, that basically you just does this and overloads your brain.
Okay, so this was brought up in issue number 230, I believe. Being exposed to unlimited void for less than 10 seconds once affected Sukuno. Sukuno is the demon that possessed Yuji, who is the main character. And it disabled him so much so, it gave him enough brain damage that he couldn't activate his abilities. And that was less than 10 seconds.
I guess, shall I bring in some things of Makima?
Yeah, let's talk about powers, Dad. Unless you want me to do a quick few feats for Gojo.
I think we'll save the feats and then because I really do want to talk about her powers.
So go on about Makima.
So, yeah, we've already seen in the little clip I played on screen. You may be thinking, what the fuck did she do to those poor gunmen? Actually, I say poor gunmen now, they kind of deserved it. Well, her main thing is telekinesis. Well, I say main thing, she has quite a lot of powers. Of course, she has her psychic abilities, she can read minds, mind control, even like other powerful demons. And because her whole gimmick is control, that is her power. She is a manipulator when it comes to control of like the minds of people, their free will. Basically, think of the anti-life equation, where basically your free will literally means nothing. That's basically her powers in a nutshell. And of course, she devils in. I was meant to say dabble in, but I accidentally said devil, so I kind of made an unintentional pun. She dabbles in curses, and she can summon like all sorts of weapons, and she has a broken healing factor. She's been shot in the head, she's been impaled, she's been sliced to pieces. In fact, on the Reddit page when I was taking my notes, let me just quickly scroll down to my phone. Yeah, she's been killed a total of over 20 times, and she just keeps on coming back. Because one of her powers is immortality, even to the point she can resist being erased. Yes, you can't even erase her from existence. So it's like, oh shit. Like, apparently this is even stated in the law. Even if you were to, quote-unquote, kill her, like, fully destroy her body, she will come back. It doesn't matter if you destroyed her soul, her body, she will come back. And it can be instantaneous. So it's not like, oh, if you kill her like this, then that's it. It's like, no, she can just come back in that moment. There is a bit more details about that, which again, I don't want to spoil, because I'm very curious if Death Hour will bring it up, though I am kind of worried, because when I was reading it, it was actually a good twist. But, yeah, she is hard to kill. Like, she can manipulate not just people, but animals, even like your biology. Like, as we saw in that video, she just made it so that their body just decided to explode. Yeah. She can literally manipulate you from like... I haven't done a calculation, I've not seen any quotes, but it seems as though if she can manipulate your body, would that say she's on a molecular level of manipulation with her powers? I could be looking into that a bit too much, but given the fact she's not technically crushing the people, she's just making it so their body's just ripped to shreds. Also, Louis saying this ain't a Halloween episode. Bullshit, man, because the things in Chainsaw Man, those were horrifying. Even I was there like, oh my god. She has teleportation. She can, like, travel through dimensions. So, again, similar to Gojo, she can also enter, like, a dimension of her own. And this is the thing I'm also kind of worried about for Gojo. Like, it's pretty obvious who I want to root for, but obviously I'm going to listen to more Feats. She can even manipulate memories, even of people who can resist mind manipulation, which is kind of false advertising when you think about it. I can resist mind manipulation. What about against Makima? Oh, then no, I can't. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, then. You're not useful, are you? Like the equivalent of wearing a bulletproof vest, but it's like, oh, but except for machine guns, they can pierce it. Again, I could be looking into these wrong. I hope I am, because she's pretty powerful. And Feats now. So, Sean, what feats do we have for this bastard? Well, actually, no. I'll tell you honestly, how you describe Gojo, I'm rooting for him because he actually seems like a good character.
Feats for Gojo. Well, Speed's kind of out of the question considering he can make it whatever he fucking wants with his domain abilities. But if he didn't have his domain abilities, he is light speed thanks to giant lasers from a kaiju-sized mech. But again, speed's kind of pointless when you can make it to whatever you want. Strength-wise, Gojo has gone up against some of the toughest demons in the world, like Sukuna. He kind of beats Sukuna very, easily. It's like one of the most satisfying moments from the Jujutsu Kaisen anime, if you haven't seen it.
Right.
he was able to beat, of course, Toji, and Toji had a weapon specifically designed to target cursed energy. Yet Gojo came back and kicked his ass. Oh, what else is there?
I don't know why. Every time you said this name, I'm just thinking of the. I can't remember what show it was. It was like this old cartoon years ago. Lazy Town, I think it was called. Go, go, Lazy Town. Like that sort of. I just have that theme playing in my head right now. Just the amount of times you said that name. I know it's weird, but it's one of those things when you hear lyrics. It's when you hear something so many times that a memory sort of digs up from your past.
Early on, remember that Jugo guy? Well, Jugo had the ability to. His domain basically conjures up a giant volcano that can erupt on you, and Gojo survived with no injuries. Then, of course, we got Black Flash. So Black Flash, a technique he does, it's applied at this many seconds. Let me copy and paste it. On top of his domain. It's applied after that many seconds of the impact of hit. A distortion's created, and it boosts his strike power by 2.5. Black Flashes are able to overpower Sukono, blow a hole through Aichito's Tesh, and he was able to perform 2 Black Flashes back to back, and it ramped up his energy and healing.
Okay, so he too has a healing factor.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I'm having to represent Hakima, but yeah, I'm trying to listen to things like, right, come on, Gojo, you should have something.
Yeah, so much so that he's even able to tank his own Purple Hollow ability and be completely fine. And remember in SpongeBob vs. Aquaman, like how insane you need to be to survive so much far in the water? I don't know what it is to feed. He survived 8,000 meters underwater and was fine. And that's a bunch of weight crushing on your body.
Even my dog was impressed. Right, okay, interesting. In terms of, like, the thing that's interesting about Makima, she hasn't had to deal with, like, any sort of overwhelming force. However, she has resisted many powers very similar to Gojo, including her own powers. Like, people trying to manipulate her mind, she resisted because her power is literally called control. There's actually more to it, people. I am aware of this, but again, I don't want to spoil it for these guys. I'm trying to be very, like, careful how I'm saying it. Like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying these powers wrong, but I also just don't want to spoil it. I really want you guys to react to the episode. Usually I'm not like this, but with everything I've read about her, I was just like, I want to hear their reactions when this episode comes out. But in terms of speed feats, so she's on par with Chainsaw Man, who I believe it is stated he can move at light speed. And this is her when she's not tapping into her. And funny enough, you brought up those numbers, Sean. That is actually in a similar case with Hakuba. She's managed to activate her powers, including her dimensional thing, in those amount of seconds as well. So it's like, it could be even on reactionary speed. Yeah. The other speed feats as well is that she's managed to manipulate, like, she's managed to, of course, level entire cities. And she also, now this is the thing I'm kind of wondering with Gojo, because you kind of mentioned he kind of has his own little, like, sensing ability, doesn't he? So if you have, like, a similar ability as him, he can, like, sense it.
Something like that. Like you were saying,
yeah,
that
so
you had cursed weapons, so it might be possible.
Yeah, well, her powers aren't all curses. She just also has the ability to, like, use curses. It's mostly just to summon weapons and stuff like that, though that you can see them. It's just that the telekinesis is going to be the tricky one because... Oh, sorry, man. Did you say something? So I heard you.
Do curses in both series, like, work the same way?
I don't know, really.
There's a variety of different curses in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Because, I mean, if they don't, then there is the argument that, well, curses in this world don't work the same as this, so his sense might not work. It's like with Dio vs. Alucard, how JoJo vampires don't work like Hellsing ones.
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with these two to really compare their powers. I'm only just going by the few books I've read, the one episode of Chainsaw Man. To be fair, she doesn't really do much in that episode, so I probably should have binged a few more episodes, to be fair. I thought to myself, let me look on respect threads, what people saying. I've had someone that messaged me telling me about a Chainsaw Man. Friend from work, no one in the Death Valley community will know of. But so as far as like she's been able to deal with like demons that are potentially more powerful than her, because they've been able to like destroy like entire cities and stuff like that. I've not heard someone on like a planetary level. So if someone in the comments can bring up if there a planetary feat you can give Makima, then I'll listen to it. So how long have we actually been talking about this episode for, Sean?
So we were at like 42 minutes with Megatron Frieza. Total recording time is 1 hour 25.
Okay.
So probably about 40 minutes.
Alright, so shall we get to the 60 seconds?
Yes, Purple even made me.
I have a timer already.
Purple made me a custom one.
Wait, what?
He gave me a paragraph literally called "Why Gojo Beats Makima." So there's my 60 seconds written for me.
Okay then. Let's do this.
All right.
Wait, so...
It's Gojo versus
Sean
Makima.
first.
Yes.
Alright, ready?
Yes.
Go.
Gojo is going to break Makima's mind at the end of this, because Makima's mind control only works if you use someone beneath her and in her league, whereas Gojo could be out of her league due to his infinite domain expansions. And thanks to his domain expansions, despite the fact that Bill was saying that they both have attacks that launch at equal speeds with infinity and limitless domain, Gojo can just make the speed advantage constantly in his favor, and it's constantly active, so he's constantly going to have the speed advantage. A majority of Makima's arsenal won't be able to pass limitless unless it's Bang, which according to Purple's calculations, Bang's strongest output is town level. As we brought up earlier, Gojo can survive being inside a volcano without taking any scratches. He also has teleportation and flotation to avoid attacks, which can help him in the big time. Now, I know some people are going to bring up Makima wins because of her contact with the Prime Minister, but guess what? Gojo's not considered a citizen of Japan anymore. I don't know what edition that's in, but I found that interesting. Overall, Gojo is going to damn it, I was about to say my pod.
do you want to still say it?
Gojo is going to teach Makima one painful lesson.
Alrighty then.
Thanks, Purple, for the help, by the way, with that.
Okay. Bill, are you ready?
Yeah, I think I can actually try and make a good case for this one.
Alright. And... go.
So Gojo does have a lot of things going for him. I could definitely maybe believe that he's faster. In terms of durability, though, I don't think he's ever survived his cells, at least from what everything Sean's brought up, of like his cells being manipulated, or if he can resist the mind control. Maybe he could if he's stronger. It depends on how Death Battle take the whole like power scaling for these two. But from everything it sounds like, Makima just has more ways of just bypassing his strength, and their speed's probably on point. And given the fact she's a master of controlling people, demons, and animals, she could easily just mind control Gojo to just simply just stop using his powers, and even if she gets captured in his dimension, she could probably just use them to escape it. So as much as I'm rooting for Gojo, I am thinking Makima is going to make a fool out of him.
Alrighty.
That's the best one I can think of.
And that was perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Alright, so how many letters? I think I have my answer set in stone.
Yeah, okay, so now, of course, I wasn't just playing the bits with like the 60 seconds. Everything I've heard of Gojo, again, people, we aren't as familiar with these two as we have been with the last few death battles, so we are somewhat going into this blind. Gojo is not a pusher. Now, I feel as though if I had to choose who I want to win, Gojo kind of seems like the character. It seems as though he did go through a bit of a villain phase, but isn't it like currently now he is like neutral or an anti-hero?
Yeah, no, he was more so wanting power, but over time he became more of a good guy through his literal Japanese translation of enlighten and enlightenment.
Yeah. Now, to be fair to Makima, her series is still going on, And something did happen, and it seems as though there could be a chance for redemption, but obviously we'll have to wait and see what happens to Chainsaw Man. But of course, as the current arc is, I want her to die 1,000 deaths, which, to be fair, she has died. But the thing as well is that her resurrection is just so broken. The only one who was capable of putting her down was Chainsaw Man, because his power nullifies demon magic. Now, of course, we have not seen this like used on her, so whether she can resist it is kind of 50-50. She's a demon, so my logic is thinking, okay, so if his power can nullify demon magic, wouldn't he just need to get a killing blow? So, and of course, being able to travel through dimensions, she can even like she could probably just escape that dimensional thing, so it's not as though that is really a guaranteed like, haha, I've got you here now. She'll just be like, okay, bye.
So my thing is,
the other thing that I'm worried about is the cellular manipulation. Assuming it is that, like, couldn't she just simply just crush him?
Yeah.
Just tear him apart?
Also, I have to ask, Sean, Gojo's abilities, they come from like his bloodline, don't they?
domains are differing with different clans.
Right, so they come from his clan, but the clan he was born into.
Yeah.
Okay, so if Makima can, like, mess with cells, couldn't she, in theory, just shut that off?
No.
Oh. Also, remember when I said...
Because
okay, well,
every
I'm definitely
domain is
wrong with
powered by
this.
cursed energy.
Okay, I
It's
just
powered
found...
by it, but if she can manipulate his cells, and, like, can she just stop him from being able to do it, like, ow?
No.
That's what I'm thinking. Now, okay, I should be clear. She does want Chainsaw Man's power to... Because obviously Chainsaw Man's more powerful than her. Though I did just recently just look on Google because I was curious about saying, like, can she survive a decapitation? Well, she can, and look who she was killed by. Oh, the image for some reason didn't... There it is.
No, I see it.
I'm like, ah, for fuck's sake.
Did her headless body kick him in the face?
It did. I have to admit, that's pretty awesome.
That is, actually.
See, this image alone is why I want to
So the
full on
logic I
binge
have
this
right now
series.
is that with cursed energy right now, I don't know if Makima technically has it in her environment. So she's not
The
going
other
to be
thing I
able
want
to see.
ask Sean before I...
So she's not going to be able to
Go ahead,
detect these
John.
domains or anything that Gojo has.
She does have good senses, but that does come from her smell. So, yeah, so maybe she wouldn't be able to detect these powers, but I think it's just the manipulation of the body that's really getting me, because in theory, couldn't she just simply just tear him up? What is his regeneration like? That's what I want to know. Like, has he survived his head being decapitated? Has he survived, like, limbs being pulled off?
Let's see.
Can he even survive impalement? Because, yeah...
Yeah, no,
Makima's
he survived
being
impalement.
impaled in front of- How much are we talking about, though? 'Cause Makima's been impaled through the chest, all around her body with spears. Like, her healer factor's broken. I'll put some images on the screen for people to see what I saw on Google Images.
According to Liz, there was an attack called Piercing Blood, and Piercing Blood, which does that impalement stuff, was able to cut through massive amounts of stone. Thanks to issue number 203.
Okay, so I guess I'll say my conclusion, because we have gone for a while. We've got a lads debate. I really want to go for Gojo. And yes, that was a pun. But everything I've read about Makima, she just... I'm not saying she's super OP. This matchup isn't one-sided, but I just think her telekinesis and her dimensional hopping and teleportation, I actually forgot to mention that. They're going to be even in Arsenal, because they have a lot of, like, in their category to use against one another. I think just that little detail of her powers and her healing factor seems to be quite broken, unless you were to... Well, I originally thought Chainsaw Man's power would nullify demon magic. Maybe I've looked into that wrong, but... Maybe... Okay, I did get this... Maybe he didn't decapitate her? Like, maybe someone else did? just from that image alone, if Chainsaw Man did do that, you can't manipulate. And her whole gimmick is control. Control your mind, control your body.
Yes, but
control yourself.
the thing
and just
about
rip
that
you apart.
is her mind control only works if she fused someone beneath her.
Well, she does think she's above everyone. Again, that whole contradiction of I love humans like a dog. It's like, shut the fuck up.
So,
Yeah, like,
so
show
I
Gojo,
went,
like,
I went
like,
full
depending-
Londoner.
so go.
Depending on how big her ego is, she could just view Gojo as beneath her anyway.
Yeah, I really want to go for you, Gojo. You seem like such a cool dude. But I think I am going to stick to Makima. I hope I am wrong. I hope this is like Ant-Man versus Atom. I hope who I'm representing loses. I hope the guy that I... Here's the thing, I've not even watched
Wait.
the show Gojo's in.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of someone else, never mind.
Yeah, like I've not even watched the show or series that Gojo is from, but from everything Sean's described of him, he sounds like such a cool dude. A reformed villain. I thought of filler and villain at the same time, and it came out villain. What's your name? Villain. Yeah, it seems like Gojo is such a cool character. And I might even look into his show after I'm done with... well, he's not even the main character, so... Did you guys ever see that meme of, like, when the Mario movie trailer came out, Jack Black's Bowser and the fan art had loads of microphones pointing to him, and Mario only had the one? That's how I'm picturing Gojo is with, like... Because how everyone seems to be talking about it, it seems as though everyone... Even some reactions I've seen, people are hyped to see Gojo. So it's like, yeah, maybe he seems like a pretty cool character. So, Gojo, listen, I'm rooting for you, man. But who I'm putting my money on, I'm putting it on the sexy demon lady with the freaking cake. Look, listen, I don't like her. She's still fucking sexy. So, Sean, are you committed to Gojo?
Fucking hell, I need a new cable.
I was about to do something funny.
But
I'll still do it. I'll just edit in. Go ahead, Sean.
I think Gojo actually does take this. Cause
Okay, I hope
with his
you're
domain, the speed gap's always going to be in his advantage, so he's going to be able to avoid everything. Makima's not going to be able to detect any of his powers since she does not have cursed energy. And yes, you did say she has mind resistance, but to what extent? That's the question.
So I'm...
Because with Gojo being able to transpire everything in the universe onto somebody, I don't think that's as strong. I don't think Makima's mental resistance is that strong.
So she can also survive being... Well, they tried to erase her, but they couldn't, so...
Wait, Bill, I have to ask. Is that just because, like, she wills herself to, like, regen and come back?
No, like, literally, she as she was describing it, she was meant to be erased. I'll put the panel on screen for people, so I'm going to probably have to look through the respect thread to get that panel again. Do you know, from now on, when I'm taking notes, maybe I should actually save these pictures rather than having to look for them while I'm editing. Because it's such a pain in the ass. Just like, where did I see that panel?
The thing is,
Yeah, so basically, she just chose not to be erased, or she couldn't be erased.
Yeah.
Oh, so in theory, could she just choose not to be overcome by, well, Gojo's whole, like, infinite void thing?
Again, this would go into a spoiler. I don't think she has that sort of, like, manipulation, but I guess the idea is that she will always be one step ahead of her opponents. I think the only reason... There was only one character managed to get the upper hand on her, but that's because they were a close friend of her, so that was when she was really, like, surprised when she got attacked.
I think
so.
Yeah, but the thing is,
again, that was her closest friend.
Yeah, I do think that specific attack Gojo has with the entire universe being in your brain is going to be more than enough. Because when Jugo was decapitated, he was still processing information, so he was still dead. Despite the fact Makima's regeneration might be instant, who knows how long she'll be processing that info for inside that void? Meaning, by technicality, Gojo would win.
Oh shit, actually, yeah.
Good point. I will say this. if it turns out her regeneration isn't instantaneous, like, oh, she actually needs to take a year or so to fully get a new body, I'll count that as a win. Because it's like, look,
by
she's
Death
dead.
Pals rules, like that does count as a win.
Yeah, and again, I
don't
think
believe he'll be able to
Gojo is can survive Makima's actual attacks. According to Purple, Makima's measured at town level, and again, Gojo survived being in that volcano domain ability.
I don't even think I don't know how accurate that is, really. I haven't looked on Verse Battle Wiki, so I don't know what people are putting around. Like, I could be wrong, maybe I'm overhyping it, which I hope so, because I like the sound of Gojo. He sounds awesome. But alright, we talked about this long enough, so we'll get... So mate, before you decide though, I definitely want you to hate this lady just for this quote alone she said to Genji, aka... Denji, aka... Not the Overwatch character.
Well, wait,
Genji,
make
AKA
a suggestion beforehand so
Hold
it's
on.
not influenced.
Hold on, I just want to bring up, Bill, because you brought it up. I went on Versus Wiki. Yeah, it looks like she's listed at large building level plus and or small town level.
Okay, this is Verse Battle Wiki we're talking about. Also, wait, we never look at Verse Battle Wiki while we're recording. We talked about this.
Listen, I went off what Purple gave me, which, by the way, again...
Just looked it up because you mentioned it.
Again, I can't thank enough for Purple helping out with Gojo's research. I appreciate it. And also, he did beat Bill with Guts versus Dimitri, so...
That is true. But to be fair, though, he did not do a convincing argument. Mostly the comments.
I think he did
job
better
at
here.
That. Maybe. He did say in the private DMs to me that he knows these two more than he knows, than he can represent Dimitri, so... But mate, now the reason... I'm not saying this is going to make you choose... this is going to make you choose my one, but... Let me just read you a quote that she said. I actually wanted to screenshot this to read it out to you. So
Bill,
what
we've been
she
going
said
for over an hour.
I know, look, I just want to read this because I really want to hear Mate's reaction to this. She said to Denji, if you were to have friends, I would kill them. If you were to have family, I would make sure they would not live long enough. The reason she does this because she doesn't want him to leave. Yeah. This is the type of character that you should really think about if you want to root against. Or root for, I should say, really.
I mean, as a person, like, yeah, I want her to lose. But in terms of, who'd actually win? Okay, you both have had fantastic arguments. But I think I may have to go with Makima.
Son of a bitch!
Because, well, yes, the whole void thing and her, like, intaking, like, the universe stuff. That, and, you know, her still processing that after, like, being decapitated or something while Gojo leaves. That would absolutely be a win for Gojo. Like, 100%. But that's with that specific ability. Whereas, like, all the other abilities, I feel like she could counter, and Bill even brought up all the telekinesis stuff and how... Like, also in that clip, when those guys were running away, she still knew exactly where they were.
Yeah. Pretty fucked up.
Yeah, and really it just seems like all she has to do is just twist her hand and then...
I think we've all said our piece.
Yeah. Though, as a person, I want Gojo to win. In terms of my bet, I guess I'm going with Makima.
Well, I am solo. I haven't been solo in such a long time.
Yeah, when was the last time
Shao Kahn
Sean was like solo?
Shao Kahn versus Akuma.
What? Really?
Yes.
Damn, that's such a long time. I think that is actually legit 2 years ago.
Oh wait,
now.
no.
Jesus Christ.
No, it was Bondwick.
Right, okay, fair enough. I mean, still,
Yeah,
that's
over
still
a
quite
year.
long. That is definitely, yeah.
Of course the American votes for Wick.
Fucking American.